Henry Cavill must play the next James Bond. He would literally be perfect for the role, and in this video I'll be explaining why. For those of you who don't know, Daniel Craig has finished his last film as James Bond, and the showrunners are currently looking for a new candidate to fit the role. There's been a bunch of rumours going around about who might be playing the character next, and supposedly Henry Cavill is no longer in the top position to be picked. I've even heard rumours about them trying to pick a more diverse character for the next film, or even a woman to play James Bond. To be honest with you, I think this is absolutely ridiculous because Henry Cavill is the best suited actor to play James Bond out of anyone, in my opinion. He's got such a close resemblance to the character of James Bond in so many ways that I think it would be kind of stupid not to pick him. Firstly, Henry Cavill himself is kind of similar to James Bond's character. In the books and the films, James Bond is described as having a Navy background or a background in the military. Henry Cavill, as far as actors go, has very close ties to the military. His brother, Nick Cavill, is even in the Navy himself, more specifically the Royal Marines. So based on this, I feel like Henry Cavill will have some kind of knowledge of the Navy and the type of people that are in it, which I'm sure he could draw upon for his portrayal of the character. But this is not the only thing. In terms of appearance, he's actually almost identical to what James Bond is described as looking like in the books. James Bond is described as a white British male that is 6 foot tall, with a slim build, blue eyes and dark black hair. I mean, this is exactly the same as Henry Cavill. The only thing would be the weight, but he could drop weight if he needs to. In fact, I'd go as far to say, I think if he was picked as James Bond, he would be the closest looking James Bond to what Ian Fleming described James Bond as, out of all of them. His age is also perfect. He's in his mid to late 30s, and James Bond is described as being in his mid to late 30s. I'm not even just focusing on whether he looks the part. He's a very experienced actor that's been doing this for almost 20 years, and he's even done some films where he plays characters that are very similar to James Bond. The reason I'm making this video is because I have a hunch they won't pick him, because they're trying to fulfill a political quota. I'm hoping if this sort of message gets out enough, that if unfortunately they do just pick someone to try and fulfill a quota, we can all make enough noise to try and get them recast. So yeah, this is just my opinion at the end of the day, but these are the reasons why I think that Henry Cavill should definitely be picked as the next James Bond.